Hi, and welcome to the ninth video in our PowerShell Universal for Beginners series. In the last video, we created our first application, which was the Hello World application. And if we take a look at it right now, is what it looked like at the end of the video. We had our typography, and actually I'm just going to put this in dark mode so it's a little bit easier for us to see. But we have our Hello World application with a button that when we click the click me, it changes from Hello World to Hello YouTube. What we're actually going to be doing today is centering these elements and actually stacking them. Now there is a very easy way that I'm going to show you how that we can simply actually just align them to the center and have them stacked without doing too much of the actual layout or grid. But I do want to show you guys in this video how we can actually use the grid as well, as that will be useful to make some very responsive applications to where you can actually view them nicely on a desktop, iPad, or a phone or tablet or any device that can access the internet. It would look how you actually want it to with some tinkering around of the actual settings and parameters. But let's go ahead and let's go back into our PowerShell Universal apps here, and let's edit our code for the Hello World application here. So we had our new typography and our new button for these two elements. Now to actually get these centered, we're not going to actually have to add too much here. But one of the things that I want us to actually go back and look at is, of course, that live documentation that PowerShell Universal offers to us, because we are going to be using a few different things here. So what we're going to be using is we are going to actually look at I believe it is in utilities, and we're going to be looking at the element. Now this is going to create a new React element, and this is just going to make it a lot easier for us to control that styling to get that centered. And then we're going to be taking a look at the grid, which is within a layout. But let's stick around with elements first and see what that looks like. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to, right before our new UD typography, is we're going to do a new UD element here. And with the new UD element, we are actually just going to do a dash content here, and then an open and close curly bracket. And we are actually just going to cut our new UD typography and paste that in. Now, if we actually save this and we go look at our application, you're going to see that it actually doesn't look that different yet. And that is okay. It's not supposed to actually look different just at this point yet. And then what we are going to want to do here is, after the new UD element, we can probably put this actually on the new UD typography, is we can add our align parameter here. You just try to get that autocomplete. There it is. And we can put the align center. We're going to hit save once again. And we're going to see when we go back into our application that our application has actually centered that hello world really nicely for us. Our button isn't centered yet, but that is okay. We're about to center that with another UD element in a very similar fashion here. Now there are multiple ways to, of course, center this. This is just one of the ways, and we're going to be seeing how we can actually center the button, which is actually going to be a different way because the button doesn't have an align parameter. So around the new UD button here, we're actually going to be putting another new UD element here. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add the parameter attributes. And our attributes are going to be within a hash table here. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a style equals, and it's going to be another hash table here. So we have an @ symbol and a set of curly brackets. And we are going to do a text align equals a set of single quotes, the word center. And now after the attributes here, we're going to do a space dash content with another open and close curly brackets. And within those curly brackets here, we're going to actually put in our button that we have. So we can just cut and paste that, and I'm just going to format the actual layout of the code here just so everything is indented correctly. So we actually have two UD elements now in our page, and within those UD elements is we have our UD button and our UD typography in their own element. And because we have the style text align here within the UD element, it's actually going to align everything within that element in the center. So if we actually hit save here, and we go back into our application, and let me just refresh this one last time here. We may have to add a slight attribute here that I forgot. On the UD element of the button, we are going to want to make sure that we add a tag as well. And the tag that we're going to add is going to be the div tag once we actually save that. And let's go back into our application, and you're going to see that our button is now actually centered. And the reason for that is div, we are making that UD element a container, which a div is a block element in HTML typically. So then we're able to use that text align, which will center that button. So now that we have this centered, you might say that we are done. It's working. We can click the button. It changes the text still, and it's centered and it's stacked vertically. But I actually like to combine this as well with the grid element in PowerShell Universal. Now, if we actually go look here in the live documentation within the layout section, we have a grid here. And this grid will allow you, as you can see with all the different examples here, it really lets you build out a layout for your application. And what I actually like to do is I like to just copy this first example here. We're just actually going to copy that example directly into our code after our two UD elements. And what we're just going to do is we're actually just going to hit save right off the bat here. And we're going to see what that looks like, just to kind of get a bit of a better idea of what that is. So here we have a bunch of different cards, and we can see here, if we go back to our code, we have a new UD grid, and within we have also 3 UD grid elements within that grid. And they all have extra small size 4. Now what that means is that on an extra small size screen, which is determined prefixed by a number of pixels for length and width of that screen, it's going to be 4 elements big. And each row has a maximum size of 12. So for every 12, then it's going to go into another row. So what we can actually do here is we can make this middle element a lot larger. So right now we can see that they are all equal size. So if we change this middle element to 8, and we change the first element of grid from 4 to 2, and the last one from 4 to 2 as well, and we hit save, we are going to see that now we have a completely different layout for this grid. We have this large middle section, and then we have 2 little sides here, which we can also have content on. So what this allows you to really do is if you want a little sidebar here for your application or a sidebar here for your application, you can definitely do that. And what's awesome is, let's say you only wanted 2 of these, we could actually just remove one of them altogether and then say change the 8 from 8 to 10 for the one UD grid element, and then we hit save and we go back to our application. Now we only have that one little section on the left hand side, which maybe we could have some little buttons, or maybe we can have some type of controls there. Really depends on the app that you're building on how you're going to want this laid out, but you can have each row completely different. So if we actually just copy paste these 2 grid elements here, so now we have 4 grid elements within that grid, and we hit save. And now we can see that we have two of the same rows, but what we can actually do is we can actually reverse these. So I'll have this as the first element as 10, and then the second element as 2 here. So here we'll have the our first child grid element will be 2, our second child grid element will be 10, our third child grid element will be 10, and our fourth child grid element will be 2. And we hit save here. Now you're going to see that we have a completely reversed. So you are not set to however you want to do your grids. You can change those grids constantly, which give you a really, really good control on how you actually want to lay out your content. And now let's say you want this to be very mobile responsive, is what you can actually do is you could maybe have it all set to 12 here on the extra small size screen, but then we can add another parameter here and we can name it medium size, and we can now set these to 2. Medium size will be 10 here. So we're going to be setting the medium size to what our extra small size used to be here, and we'll see what that looks like. So let's just set these up. So now let's hit save. So now we have extra small size of 12 for all 4 of our child grid elements. And then we added a parameter of medium size with the old values that used to be in the extra small size. So that would be 2, 10, 10, and 2. Now, if we go look at our application, you're going to notice it looks the exact same. We haven't really changed anything. And that's true because we are looking at it on a desktop right now. But if we go ahead and we just make this a lot smaller, so now that I've kind of made the window smaller, it adjusted, and now we have all the elements stacked on top of each other. This way we can view them properly, because maybe if they were with that small little border on the left and then the bigger side on the right, we wouldn't see that properly. So maybe we want to stack them on smaller screens, and then when we go back, we can actually display it like this. So grids are very, very handy when you want to make something very responsive, because you don't know what type of device your users are going to be using. But now let's leave that grid here. Now all we're going to do is we just need 2 child grid elements. So I'm going to leave them exactly as is here. So I'm going to have the medium size set to 2, medium size set to 10 for the other one. And now we have cards in here. Now really what that is it just designates a spot here so we can actually see where the element is. You can decide to keep that or you can remove it. It's completely up to you. I'm actually going to keep it, and I'm just going to remove the buttons here. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to cut the entire section of code that we had. So our 2 UD elements, I'm just going to cut that out, and I'm going to paste that into the one that has the medium size 10 here. And then I'm just going to organize that code to make sure that the layout is just properly indented, and we are going to hit save. And now if we actually go look at it here, we can actually see our hello world and our click me button is now within that second card of our grid, and it is centered within that element. So it's not centered within the screen anymore, but it is actually centered within this element, which that's pretty much exactly what I wanted. And now what we can do is we can actually remove these cards if you don't want them. And I will just show you guys what that looks like now. Once we remove these cards, and there it is. So there's just no more actual visible layout. Sometimes you might like that visual layout. That is completely up to you. What I like to use for a nice little marking of where my grids are is I like to use the paper, which I believe that is going to be in surfaces and paper. So paper is used to highlight content within a page. So what I like to do is I like to just wrap what is inside of our UD grid here. We're just going to do a new UD paper. And we're just going to put content and the set of curly brackets here. And we are just going to cut, again, our two elements that we had in there. And we are just going to paste that in there and then just indent that properly. And now if we actually go look at it here, we can actually see our element. Now you're going to see that it does break. So there are certain types of elements where you might have to do a little bit more work. So in this case, it might be best to just use that card element just to simplify it a little bit for us for our layout. And it makes it so it's centered. And then we have some extra controls here if we wanted. As an example, let's just go ahead and let's do a new UD card here. And let's put some content in here with an open and curly bracket. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and copy the new UD element. And let's go ahead, let's put this label main2, and we're going to make the text here as this is the sidebar menu. And if we hit enter here or save, and if we go look at it, we can see that this is the sidebar menu. So everything is looking good. So now that we have an idea of how we can actually do our layout in our application, you guys have a lot to play around with that different grid and just kind of sort the elements that you guys want to put in these sections. What I suggest to do is when you create your grid layout, have all the cards there so you can actually see where the content would show up, and then start inserting your different elements into those. And this way you have a really good idea of how it's going to look like before you start doing all the work of adding your components in. Get that layout nice and clear and how you like it, and then start adding in your components, because it's a lot easier doing it that way than adding in all your components and then trying to put them where you want them to be. All right, and that is it for this video. You're going to want to stay tuned for the next video because we're going to start taking a look at a lot of the different components that we can add in. So you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys on the next video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button and hit that notification bell to be notified when that next video comes out. And I will see you guys on the next video.